This short recording is meant to show how the footprint chart, and especially this footprint profile, can be used to complement market profile and to help time entries and exits and identify some of the key rotations in the market, especially in a day like this. As we can see, this was March 27th. And we can see from how the day ended up, it was certainly a very normal day. Range bound, bracketing day. So there's a couple key things that I want to point out in this to show how you can use this view of the footprint chart to better time key levels. So let me first describe what we're looking at. This would be, each bar is a 5-minute bar. And again, the key thing that the footprint chart provides is each bar is broken up by price. So each of these blocks or footprints is a price. We can associate it on the left or the right, you can see. And the color is represented by the delta at that price. The delta is just the net buying or net selling. So any shade of red would represent more aggressive selling. Any shade of green would represent more aggressive buying. So the importance there is, as price trades over time, being able to identify and confirm price direction with order flow and how orders are being transacted in the marketplace. Now, we're not going to get into a big discussion on delta. You can look at other videos for more in-depth description and strategies for that, but I just want to describe quickly what that is. Now, the outlined area that we see on this chart is simply the high volume node for that period of time. So for each 5-minute period, you can see the high volume node. It's very clear in this graphic because of the shape of the curve, but still it's important because it's a visual cue to see where that point is. For instance, if we were to flip to the bid-ask or the delta footprint, you kind of lose the shape of where the high volume node is, but being able to see where it was outlined, you can quickly tell whether the high volume node is moving lower or moving higher. So let's go back to the footprint profile. And again, this bar, the yellow bar, is the developing value area in POC. I'm going to double click the chart right here. If we click this, just check historical value area in POC and click OK. What this is, it's it's showing you the value area and how it developed through the day. So at this 5-minute period, this was the value area. At the end of this 5-minute period, the value area had compressed, and this is where it was. And the POC at the time was right here. And so it's a way of tracking how the value area is developing over time. And the importance of that would be, is the value area putting in higher highs, higher lows, or lower highs, lower lows, or is it fairly stable? So of course, the first hour of the day, you're going to see it vary quite a bit. But as the day begins to shape up, it becomes stable a lot of times in markets that are more rotational or bracketing. Days that are trending, it's not. It's gonna move. You'll see value moving, and that is certainly a key benefit of what this graphic and the footprint chart provides. So I'm not going to cover every little trade strategy here, but I want to show as the day progressed, and again, this is a 5-minute chart. Let's just look at a couple key things. Now notice how the value area became stable here. This is 10:15 Chicago time. These lows, it began to pretty much hold at this level, this 38.5 level. And volume did increase outside here, but there's no follow through in the next few bars. And consequently in this bar, look at all the aggressive buying that entered. How do I know that? Look at the color, the greens. Simply more aggressive buying at this during this bar, and it was at the low. So this is certainly a key bar to note. So at that point, I'm just going to scroll ahead in time grabbing the horizontal bar and moving, we can begin to possibly see the days shaping up and strategies to employ. One strategy for a day that's range bound or bracketing would be just trading the value area extremes, offering or selling, trying to sell the market in the upper portion of the range, buying in the lower portion of the range. And I'll just kind of move through the day here, scrolling slowly, and we can see how these are just very useful because it identifies the value area. It identifies the stability of the value area. Notice how stable it became here during this time of the day. It was not changing hardly at all. That tells you the market's in balance. Just move forward in time. If you can spot this type of balance in the market, then working bids down here to buy would make some sense. Notice it has a hard time maintaining any kind of trade outside these areas. The other benefit of this graphic is the shape. You can see whether volume is increasing outside the value area, and is it drying up. So we'll just continue. We're near the end of the day here already. You can see it was just a very stable bar. Now notice how this bar, it went through that value area high and increased. The aggressive buying came into the market and volume increased, which would be certainly what you'd want to see for range extension or possibly a beginning of a very late day trend. But notice again, the very next bar could not confirm. It could not hold. This bar did not even trade one tick higher than this bar where you saw this increased buying. So this was really an attempt just to get prices to go, and it had no follow through, and consequently fell right back down into the middle of the range.